Welcome to the third prayer vigil every Friday throughout the summer, simply because she wants a prayer vigil.
Yes.
And I am her obedient servant. This is Friday, June 19th. These all come live to you at 2 o'clock every Friday. Today is a very sacred celebration, a very sacred anniversary, June 19th. You probably know this date as Juneteenth. And so this is the day that our Black brothers and sisters both celebrate and surely also mourn, because this is the day that the last group of slaves finally heard about the Emancipation Proclamation. And it was a June 19th. And so I asked the magnificent Alessandra Belloni to please lead us in a chant, a hymn, a prayer for the Black Madonna, Nigra sum sed formosa. I am black but beautiful, black but comely, from the Song of Songs. I'm Janet Connor, and she announced in my left ear last February that I am a prayer artist, and my job is to remember, redefine, revalue, return, renew original prayer, prayer that is forever ancient and always new. And so, my precious sister in this beautiful work of prayer is the incomparable Alessandra Belloni, who dances her dances and sings her songs. Let us begin by placing our water. This water will hold all the music, all the prayers, all the words, all the images, and both the sorrow and celebration of freedom, not just for the American slaves, but for slaves everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. She is our one mother, and she is demanding that we honor all our brothers and sisters as her children. And so she calls us with the Tibetan bowl to say these three truths. I am here. I am open. And this is the demand she is making of us. This is the prayer. When you say these words, you are making a commitment. I am willing. I am willing to make love visible. And one of the ways I make love visible is to share with you this prayer I was given in the middle of the night. And let's say it as may you. Last week we said it as may I. Let's say it as may you. And see in front of us the millions of slaves in America, in the Caribbean, around the world, and turn to them and say, may you find strength. May you feel courage. May your skin crackle with the kiss of a blessing wind. Before you hope. Behind you, hundreds and thousands of years of sorrow. Beside you, sacred companions in this life and in all lives. Above you, above all of us, moonlight. Below you, below all of us, our one mother, earth, dark. And in your womb, in my womb, in our wombs, we share the seed of our one mother. May your hands no longer be harmed or asked to do work. May your hands caress and be caressed. May your feet dance once more, a dance of joy. And always and forever, may your prayers rise in the smoke to be heard by our one mother. And may you breathe. Let's do this together. Take one breath for yourself. Now take one breath for another, for one freed slave. And take a breath for life herself. One breath for yourself. One breath for another. The last breath for life herself. And finally, one breath for yourself so you can do the work to make love visible. One breath for someone who is going to have a better life because you do the work to make love visible. And one last breath, the last breath every single one of us takes, the last breath George Floyd took for life herself. So it was, so it is, so it ever shall be. World without end, life without end, love without end, in truth. And so I welcome you now to meet the incomparable Alessandra Belloni, who is going to introduce us to the Black Madonna of Tindari in Sicily.
Hello. I'm very moved by what you said, so I'm going to try not to cry. Because I've been obviously crying a lot. Yeah. Feeling the pain, and when you say the last breath, of course, and the calling for Mama by George Floyd. And this is, I think, the mother that may appear to him, to take him to heaven. So this one, Black Madonna, I hope you can see her well. Can you see the... This is a very small version of a very big statue that you just showed the photo. So she's a Black Madonna of Tindari in Sicily, in a spectacular place by the sea. For all the people who studied Black Madonnas, including Ian Bagg, that wrote a famous book that inspired me to write my book, Healing Journeys with the Black Madonna, a lot of people agree that this is probably the oldest shrine that we know of in the world. So the place Tindari used to be called Tindares. It was part of Magna Graecia, of Greece and Great Greece. The legend that we have, of course, is lost in the mists of time. The first accounts of worship to this statue is 300 years after Christ, but the settlement is from 351 BC. So, and there was a temple of Cybele, the goddess of the earth, the black goddess of the earth there. And in this church today, when you go in, one of the very few Catholic churches, they show you with mosaics the legend how they found this Black Madonna, but they also show you that there was an ancient temple of Cybele in the Catholic Church, which is very rare. So they acknowledge the pre-Christian devotion. The legend of this Madonna is that she arrived mysteriously during a tempest from the sea, from Africa, some say Ethiopia, some say Egypt. Ethiopia seems to be the one that makes more sense because the inscription in her statue is Nigra sum sed formosa. I am black but comely, or I'm black and beautiful, black but beautiful has been translated different ways from Latin, from the Song of Solomon and the Queen of Sheba that was from Ethiopia. And this statue really does look very much like an African totem. So the legend says that she arrived during a tempest on a boat, on a ship, and that she calmed the waters, and miraculously everybody was safe ashore. And then they found her, the statue, in this cave, miraculously appeared in the cave under the mountain. So the people understood that they had to worship her, and they carried her up the mountain where they built the temple. So obviously, again, there was already a temple there of the goddess Cybele. So then the inscription has been there ever since, as you see that, Negra sum sed formosa, and she's been a really incredible place of devotion and miracles. And there is another legend that I like to always say, that among all the miracles that happened, that there was a woman that came to pray to her with her little daughter, and when she entered the church, she saw that she was black, and she didn't believe that she was Mary, Mother of Christ, and she got upset. And at the same time that she said, "You are not Mary," the little girl fell off the cliff into the sea. And the Black Madonna made this tongue of sand appear that saved the life of the girl. And until today, you can see that there is this tongue of sand formed, these three lakes, they're called Laghetti di Marinello. And when you look from above, the photos are in my book, you will always see there is a profile of a woman praying. They change shape all the time. They're saltwater lakes, but from above, you will see the profile of a woman praying. Sometimes one of the lake also looks from above like a woman who is pregnant. So all these miraculous things that happen there through time, and they still do, made me feel always this devotion comes from Africa. We respect her as Mama Africa, as also Mother Earth, and the power of transforming the land, the sea. It's also really the power the earth has over us. So we're now in this moment of mourning, George Floyd and all the people, especially, on this day, of the people who were slaves, but also the earth, because I think the virus that came has to do with that, the fact that we didn't respect where we come from, and she had to tell us to stop and go back and respect her.
And so there is so much to pray for and with. And so listening to your prayers and the stories and the pictures are in the Healing Journeys of the Black Madonna, but there's also a link to the music. Would you lead us in a prayer?
So this prayer, I wrote it in a sense that I put together all the names that we learn in Latin to Mary as a prayer. The music we composed with my composer John La Barbera back in 1990 for our show premiered in 1991, The Voyage of the Black Madonna, where we all had an incredible experience at the feet of the mountain. We were doing our ritual in the lakes and praying, and the wind came, and we heard a voice coming from the sanctuary above, and my flutist couldn't understand what was happening, but the flute was playing by itself. And I wrote that in the book. So this song is a combination of acknowledging all these moments, realizing that she's really powerful. So the song is Nigra sum sed formosa. That's the title. I am black and beautiful, or black but comely. If people want to chant it, I'll just do the slow part, and then I'll come in with the rhythm. 1 second, may I take a sip of water? Yes. Okay. Nigra, nigra sum, nigra Nigra sum, nigra sum, nigra sum, sei formosa. Nigra sum, nigra sum, nigra sum, sei formosa. Ave Maria, Magna Mater, Stella Maris, grazia plena. Ave Maria, Magna Mater, Stella Maris, grazia plena. Regina Celi, rifugium, rifugium peccatorum. Beate Maria, liberorum, Beate Maria, Virginis. Mater Deo, Clemens Sophia, O Dulcis Virgo Maria. Mater Deo, Clemens Sophia, O Dulcis Virgo Maria. Mater amata, intemerata, ora ora pro nobis. Mater amata, intemerata, ora ora pro nobis. Nigra sum, nigra sum, nigra sum, sei formosa. 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 Nigra, nigra sum, nigra, nigra sum. Oh, wow, I really felt
There's nothing quite like praying in music and movement and your voice and your breath.
I really
Ah,
thank you.
that's simply a full body, perfect prayer of devotion, of sorrow, of joy, of praise, of the earth, of the Black Madonna. Let us all now drink our water with an awareness that that water is holding that prayer. It doesn't matter that you didn't understand the words. It doesn't matter that you don't know the dance. It doesn't matter that you can't play the frame drum like Alessandra can. You can take one of her workshops and learn how to play it. You can travel with her around the world to meet the Black Madonnas.
I'm teaching online, and today one of my students asked me to do this song. After you, I have, I have a lesson, and she asked me, "Can we do Nigra Sum?" Okay.
So the water is holding the music, the images, what happened on June 19th, what's happening in the world today. So slowly, prayerfully, let us drink the water with the awareness that we are taking into our bodies at the cellular and solar and ancestral and universal and earth level. Nigra sum formosa. Thank you for joining Alessandra and me in this prayer vigil for June 19th. As we close, Alessandra, do you have a short chant or prayer to send us off?
Yeah, I thought of that when you're talking about freedom, Our Lady of Freedom, La Madonna della Libera, the one who frees us all, and especially people who are in need. My own experience, it also bringing somebody who was not free, that was in jail, so she can free us all from sorrow, from pain, and even physically if you are confined. So, la Madonna della Libera. Madonna della Libera, regina dell'anima mia, regina dell'anima mia, quanto è bella chiamare Maria. Madonna della libera, regina dell'anima mia, regina dell'anima mia, e quant'è bella chiamare Maria. And this means Our Lady of Freedom, Queen of my soul, it's so beautiful to call upon you, Maria.
That's it. We're calling on her, Our Lady of Freedom. Go in love and make love visible. I know you all want to pray more with Alessandra, so if you just look at the link below, there are links to her website, her incredible prayer videos. Go in love and make love visible.